What up, viewers? What up? What up? Today is August 9th. It is a Friday, and as always, I'd like to give a brief recap of what happened in video game news this week. And let's get right to it. So, the initial FTC investigation into loot boxes happened this week, and they put together some. They talked about some convincing evidence or what they found so far in their investigation. One of the things was 18% of video games have in-game purchases, so a fifth of games. It's not too bad, but considering all the indie titles, there's 7,000 indie titles that are released on Steam every year or so. It's not as insignificant as 18% would initially sound. One of the things that I was skeptical about when this investigation first started was the interplay between loot boxes and gambling, and so I think that's what the investigation was founded upon. Are loot boxes gambling? And so then the FTC got involved after I think a senator in Hawaii said that loot boxes are gambling and they're bad for the children or something like that. And I was initially skeptical because I didn't want a government agency policing my video games. But one of the good things that's coming out of this is that a lot of the first-party publishers, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, as well as Ubisoft and Epic, are now going to release their loot box odds. And I think after I was initially skeptical, I was watching a stream and someone talked about it, and that was the outcome that consumers were looking for, was just for them to know the odds going into it. And I think that's what China does, and I think that was Belgium's thing, or maybe Belgium canceled them altogether or something. But I think in the Chinese market you had to release the odds, so that required there no weird tweaking or 1 in a million type loot boxes, because you had to release the odds. And I think that's a positive step. If going into buying microtransactions, I knew that I had a 1 in 100 or a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting the super cool thing out of a Destiny Ingram, I think that's a good thing. It kind of tempers my expectations. You still things of this talk of loot boxes also gets interplayed with pay to win schemes and all that kind of stuff, and I don't think that's what we're talking about in this case, but yeah, I think so far there's been good progress, and I hope some good comes of it. I hope a lot of good comes of this, and that not too much policing is enforced to the point where loot boxes are completely banned altogether, because I think loot boxes have been helpful in bridging the gap between rising dev costs and the kind of stagnant or flat price of video games. There's been a $60 price point for over a decade now, and I think publishers are afraid to go over that, but they've gotten around those rising dev costs through loot boxes. And I don't personally buy too many loot boxes, if at all. I think Destiny Ingrams was probably the last time. Destiny 2 Ingrams was probably the last time I bought any loot boxes. Even in the few mobile games I play, I don't monetize in those. But I think that's the point. I think loot boxes are there. If you want to put $5-10 down and open a couple loot boxes, then you're free to do it. But yeah, so hopefully, let me know in the comments below what you think of this whole loot box investigation, and hopefully some good comes out of it. Moving right along, I spent a whole 2 or 3 minutes last week talking about Ninja, and so I'm going to continue talking about him this week. He's already hit 1 million subs on Mixer, which at $8 a pop, even if he sees half of that, is a big chunk of change. So if anybody was concerned about whether or not Ninja was going to continue to make money on Mixer, I don't think you have to worry about that. Also, the upfront price that they gave to him had to have been pretty high. But yeah. Moving right along, the hit video game that came out in, I want to say 2017, maybe 2016, Journey, is coming to an iPhone near you. That's right. I think it's $5. You can download Journey and play it on your iPhone. So I never got around to playing it. So maybe I will if I want to play it on my iPhone. CD Projekt Red announced that Cyberpunk will have a new Game Plus mode, which, if it's anything like Witcher 3 and it has 200 hours of content, I'm probably not going to play that game again. So new Game Plus mode is not something I'm rambling for, but maybe if it's a shorter game, like a 20-hour game or a 30-hour game, then I would play a new Game Plus mode. But yeah, I can't imagine doing that. And if it's anything like Witcher 3, which this is the same people behind Witcher 3, I can't imagine wanting to play a new Game Plus mode of Cyberpunk. But maybe it's just that good. There was a trailer dropped this week via, I think, Twitter, that you can now play Apex by yourself. So Apex, traditionally you play in 3-person squads, and if you don't have a full 3-person squad, they will load you in with randos and make you play with them. But for next week, for about a week, they'll be running a mode where you can play solo, and I assume they're just testing it out to see if the game breaks down, if any of the features are still fun. I feel like the cooperative nature was kind of the pull of Apex, but I do know that people hate playing with randos. So I wonder if the game mode will be successful or not. But anything to get people back into Apex, because I think the player base is petering out at this point. Borderlands 3 released 2 trailers this week for both of the last remaining characters before the game launches in a month. The Siren Maya? Yeah, no, Amala? Whatever. The Siren, they showed off her background information, showed a little bit of gameplay, and yeah, she's all about telekinetically punching people with her with her siren multiple arms thing that you've seen in a lot of the promotional material. She's all about beating people up and looking for the next fight. I think that's what the name of the trailer was called. It was looking for the next fight or something like that. As well as my favorite character so far, the one I'll probably be playing, was the robotic pet class Flak. It will, they showed what the gameplay would be like for them, and it seems like they have a Spiderant. They have a Spiderant that's very, very aggressively attacky. They have a Skag, which is just kind of quick, and I think it had an explosive on its back, so maybe it's a suicide pet. Just runs in and blows up or something. Then they had 2, I forgot what the name of the flying creatures are in Borderlands, but they had 2 flying creatures that he summoned in and attacked a few guys. And then this new cat-like creature looked like a lion with a scorpion tail kind of thing. And that one might be your tankier one. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the point of each of the pets are, if they're all just different types of DPS or something like that. It seemed like there was a class nature to them, one is a tank, one is support, one is aerial, I guess. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to playing Flak next month. And then one more trailer that they dropped for Borderlands was they ran through all of the gun manufacturers and the perks that'll come with each of those gun manufacturers. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of the guns and the billions and billions of loot guns that they that they announced in the trailer. Looking forward to playing that game. Moving right along, Control, the latest game from Remedy, the people behind Quantum Break and Alan Wake. They had a little trailer that was just get you up to speed, what is Control about? And I think a lot of us have a lot of questions, because the only thing I know about it is you got this redheaded girl, and maybe she worked for some secret government agency, and then she's got this gun that rotates or is kind of transforms into some kind of weird gun, and then I think she has some kind of telekinetic powers. But yeah, if you want to get up to speed on what's happening in Control, there will be a link to that down in the description below. The Walking Dead Telltale is coming out with the definitive edition. That's like all 4 seasons plus DLC and commentary, all on one disc or a series of discs. I'm looking forward to that. It comes out in September or so, and I think I'm gonna buy it in October, and I'm probably gonna create a whole thing of like the 25 days of October, and I'm gonna play through the entire series, which is a big commitment because I think each episode is like 2.5 hours or so, maybe 3, and then yeah, so I hope to get through one a day in October. So if you're looking forward to The Walking Dead, I'll be playing it all throughout the month of October, which would be like my 3rd or 4th time playing through the first season, and like my 2nd time playing through the second, and then I never played through the 3rd or the 4th season. But I really like those games. Looks like they're remastering some of the older seasons because like those are like a decade old now at this point. And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing those because I'm a diehard Telltale fan, and Telltale's kind of the series that got me into like streaming. I just wanted to be able to play with I just wanted to be able to play online and like have people help me make conversations. I think one of my first streams was actually Life is Strange. Me and my friends were playing in their living room. We're just like, drinking and having a good time. So yeah, those types of games. I know Life is Strange isn't a Telltale game, but those types of games really are what inspired me to get into streaming. So looking forward to doing like an homage by playing the game for a month straight. A cool bundle popped up this week. Besides the fact that Gears 5 has gone gold, they had this bundle of the Xbox One X with Gears 5, and it was like a $500 bundle, which I think you're pretty much just getting the game for free at that point, which is cool. And you're getting like a super exclusive Xbox One X because it's like all silver and it's got like the Gears logo on it, and it comes with like a Gears controller. And then there was a bunch of other accessories listed in the article of like a Gears 5 charger that like matches the Gears 5 controller. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So might be an incentive to buy me an Xbox One again because I gave mine away to charity. Coworker was collecting old consoles and games to give away to charity, and I hadn't used my Xbox One in like 2 years, so I gave it up. And then last but certainly not least, there's a Kickstarter for a portable Switch dock. So rather than moving the actual like piece of plastic around, if you want to HDMI into a computer or a computer monitor or a TV monitor, or TV, I should say, there's a Kickstarter for one. It's just like this little dongle. It's probably like 2 or 3 inches. That's how you plug it into the Switch, and then you plug it into a TV, and it has an HDMI port, a USB port, and a USB-C port for charging. The USB is for like accessories and stuff, and then the HDMI out takes you and plugs you into the TV, which is cool because I've bought like 2 or 3 cases for my Nintendo Switch just so I can carry around the plastic dock. So the fact that there's one for like $60 on Kickstarter looks like it's a cool alternative to carrying around a big old case with a big old chunk of plastic in it, just so you can dock in and plug into TVs and PCs. But yeah, check that out. This was just a brief recap. Hope you enjoyed it. If you think I forgot anything, let me know down in the comments below. If you were watching this live on my Twitch channel, you're probably watching this on Friday, and I hope you enjoyed it enough to give me a follow. Maybe check out the next one. I do these every week. And then a subscribe goes a long way. Use your Twitch Prime, all that kind of jazz. Really helps me to continue making these because I enjoy making them, and any kind of support really goes a long way. And then if you're watching this live, or not live, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, then a thumbs up goes a long way so that other people can kind of see my work, as well as subscription there goes a long way. Hit the bell so that you know when these go up every week. Yeah, hope you enjoy. Hope you have a super day. Hope you have a super weekend, and hope you have a super day. Bye.